I know it's not always good to be on the hate train for Nintendo, but as you can tell from the title of this video, I don't like the Link's Awakening remake, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So here we go, I'm going on full-on rant tangent mode. I don't like Link's Awakening, and there's a crap ton of reasons why. One, it looks kind of low effort to me. I know from what I remember, Grezzo made it, so they made Ocarina of Time 3D, Majora's Mask 3D. Those are fantastic remakes. Some of my favorite, actually, because I was able to play them on the go. But regardless of that, just the performance of the game is like astronomically bad. Like, I mean, I'm not a graphics expert or anything, but the power of the Switch should be able to run that game perfectly fine. It's not rendering like Breath of the Wild's caliber graphics, unless they're really turning up the light effects in the game to make it look the way it's supposed to. But I don't know. I'm sorry, this is all unscripted. I'm all stuttering because there's so much information overloading my brain right now. I have no idea how to comprehend it. The second thing would be the art style, and I know that is subjective, but personally, I hate the art style. I mean, I get the appeal. I get the look. It fits for the kind of gameplay it's doing, but it just doesn't look appealing to me. I don't know why. It's not because it's kiddie. I love the Wind Waker. I mean, I criticized the Wind Waker just like everybody did back in 2003, but this just, I know they're supposed to try and go through it for a dreamy aesthetic, but I don't know, it's just not clicking with me. The fact that they're trying to like replicate the Game Boy sprites, but still make it 3D anyway, gives it this weird feeling to me that I don't like to look at for long periods of time, to put it simply. So, that's just one out of many, many problems. Like, the gameplay is actually another problem I hate. Or hate is a strong word. I don't like. I mean, I've never played it. I've seen people play it. They've described me how it plays. And it plays literally just like the Game Boy version. Like, I'd be better off just playing my Link's Awakening DX for my Nintendo 3DS, which is downstairs. And stuff like that. I mean, I'd even pull up recording of the original Game Boy one that's black and white. Because it plays literally like exactly the same, and almost like the quality of life changes they make, where like the Pegasus boots is its own button, the shield is its own button, stuff like that. It doesn't warrant a purchase for me personally, because I never had a problem with that to begin with. If I ever talk over any of the recording footage of the original Link's Awakening while I'm talking here, you'll see that I pause, and literally the pause menus, by the way, it's 60 frames per second, silky smooth. It literally goes up, whoosh, whoosh, and you can do it in like a second, especially when you know what kind of item you need. As I go through the recording, I'll hit Rock's Feather, pause, hit Rock's Feather, unpause, and it takes like 0.3 seconds. It's literally that fast. I don't know why everybody complains about that. The things like that I guess it's better off being changed, but for the price, the damn price of this game is, to me, it's astronomical. It's really high. $60 for Link's Awakening. I mean, I can't remember the retail price of Link's Awakening when it came out back in the 90s, but I'm pretty sure, I guess with inflation it would probably add up to that now, but it's huge. You could buy Breath of the Wild brand new for $60, and the game is so much bigger than that. You know, when I heard rumors of Link's Awakening being remade, I mean, I guess I threw hype up to the freaking skyrocket, because, I mean, I love this game. I played it a crap ton on my Game Boy Color. I lost my cartridge years ago, but I was literally thinking they might have been using, like, they would have reimagined the game, not just, like, remake as in, like, HDify it, which is pretty much almost what they did. They just used modern graphics and technology to almost redo the graphics of the game, but keep the gameplay the same. I guess that's a safe way to do it, but I was literally thinking, like, they were going to reimagine Koholint Island, and it wouldn't be as big as Breath of the Wild in terms of scope, but it would play like Breath of the Wild. It would have cutscenes more dedicated to the style of the Game Boy game, so there's a lot more dialogue involved in Breath of the Wild. It would have, you know, it would look like Breath of the Wild, but and play like it, but it would be a condensed island full of content. It wouldn't be as small as like the actual Game Boy version is. They would like expand it a little bit so there's more exploration to do, but you can take the Game Boy like island design as a base and literally like reimagine it in 3D. Like imagine you're Link running around and you've actually find his sword on the beach, and then the cutscene happens with the owl, and then they make like the camera angle change, and you literally get to see like the scope of there's the windfish on the top of Telltale Heights right there. You can see it. You can run all the way to it, and you can go all the way over there. That would be amazing to see. But no, they had to keep the camera angle at the stupid Game Boy angle to make it look and play like the original Game Boy game. But if they reimagined it to look more organic and like an actual island, that would be amazing. It'd literally like blow everybody's minds, especially people who played it before. And people who haven't played it before would be intrigued because it's like, whoa, this is a cool new game to explore. I get to go wake the windfish and stuff like that. It just sounds so much better if they were to actually use like Breath of the Wild's engine. If they just let them go have at it with that kind of game development. I don't know. That's what I thought they should have done. I know it'd be a lot harder to design like the world around your lack of mobility, because in Telltale Heights especially, there's like puzzly elements you need certain items to do, but I bet they'd figure out ways to do it, and it would make it more fun and tricky to get across when you're near the end game, stuff like that. The dungeons would be fun to see in 3D, even if they were almost carbon copy layouts, with Breath of the Wild's movement and mechanics and the way you get to see it from that kind of third-person perspective. Even if it was that square and dungeony, like dungeony isn't there. Just even if it had the same layout but in 3D, you got to run around and do that stuff. It would look so much more. It'd be so much more fun to explore, especially if it was dark. Because there are some dungeons in the game that are actually dark and require you to light the thing up. But like to like load the next area dynamically, it would be like a dark dungeon, because dungeons are dark unless there's like skylights everywhere or torches all over the place. It'd be really atmospheric and cool to see. And since they wouldn't be rendering an entire open world in the dungeons, you could crank up the fidelity to the 10th degree and have all this cool like designed specialized enemies come and attack you. The pits would be all ominous and dark. It would just, I don't know, I sound stupid. I mean, like, I don't know about anything about game development, but I just know there's a budget you can use for GPU, and that's something you could do. Like, why didn't they do this? It bothers my mind every single day, and I'm ranting about it finally. But I don't know. That's the only thing I just don't like this, and the fact that they finally made this for the Switch. Like, this made sense for the Switch. Link's Awakening Remake. The first portable Zelda ever to come out, remade for the Switch, which is now a home console designed to be portable. That would have been so cool if they remade the game with Breath of the Wild's type of engine as a release for the Switch. Like, if they were to align their brains, that would have been like the coolest way to commemorate Zelda games moving in fidelity in terms of gameplay and mechanics by reimagining the first portable Zelda game in a brand new way that you could take anywhere. And I didn't mean to hit the microphone there. But like my brain is like, what if? Why didn't they think that? Why didn't they think that? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm done talking. I don't know why it's $60. I guess I'm not done talking, because holy crap, even the game size is humongous. It's almost big as Breath of the Wild. If you go to the eShop, which I probably have to pull up gameplay for, hopefully I do that in post, it's like 7 gigs for a Game Boy game. They were reusing assets. They're reusing, like the trees are all over the place. They're the same trees. The grass is tiled. It's the same damn model, tiled across the game. The 3D models of the freaking walls could probably be tiled to some degree if you do the game development right. It should be a tiny game. Probably like not even 2 gigs. But it's like 8 gigs. I'd rather go freaking download an emulator and download Link's Awakening Deluxe, because it's 300 kilobytes big. I know it's a Game Boy game, but still, it's just like it's almost exactly the same kind of gameplay. It still looks pretty for the Game Boy graphics, and it's like a millionth of the size. Breath of the Wild's like 10 or 12 gigs with all the DLC installed or something like that, but that's just sad. And the fact that it doesn't run at a stable 60 frames per second even, that's what they're targeting and it never hits it. Why don't they just keep it 30? I don't freaking know. This game doesn't appeal to me in the slightest. They gotta fix a whole bunch if I even want to try and play it. They gotta lower the price astronomically for me to actually want to buy it, and I'm worried about it if they didn't remake it the way I wanted to remake it. I mean, you can re-release the same game over and over and over again. Final Fantasy VII's doing it, and now they're remaking Final Fantasy VII in a complete brand new way that looks amazing and cool. They can do it with this game too, but no. They decided to charge $60 for a Game Boy game that takes up almost as much space as Breath of the Wild, but it has like a 16th of the content. It baffles me. That's all I have to say. It baffles me. Now I'm officially done talking, so I don't know if you guys agree with me. We can argue about it in the comments. But that's it all makes sense to me why people shouldn't be buying it, but people are eating it up. If it was cheaper, I wouldn't give a crap. $20, $30, I'd probably buy it. That's all I have to say. If you like my video, subscribe. Check me out on Twitch. I actually did a weird test stream up with Sonic Free Riders. It's really weird. But other than that, Xeno's out of here. And I'll have to play more Breath of the Wild.